Negative.
There's something happening here. I know there's something happening here. Do my eyes deceive my ears?
Like, what can we do to, fill some time, go have some fun? We got 2 friends in town.
We decide to go into the same neighborhood that they did the year before and do some reindeer humping.
By what I had to say about things, we were going to go reindeer humping.
Drove by it every day. Tagged it the year before.
So we added a lot more people the second time around.
So we get in the Explorer, and we go explore some neighborhoods.
What we were going to do was we were going to rearrange the little white reindeer that people put in their front yards. We were going to rearrange them into sexually suggestive, not even sexually suggestive, but just straight up sexual positions.
Pulled in. We just expected it to go like the last time, just like normal.
And I remember looking for a place to park, and T-Pain was just like, let's just park in the neighborhood.
And we just start walking down the street in the middle of the night. We start hitting houses, we start doing our thing.
One reindeer humping another reindeer, and the reindeer that was getting humped getting kissed.
And a car pulls by,
This old comes by in a car.
and we see her stop, she gets her cell phone out, and I'm like, that lady's calling the cops.
I kept my cool and I just kept walking along the sidewalk because my thought was if we freak out and we run, that's definitely going to make us look suspicious.
Drew, for some reason, he went to this as he's walking to think that would like conceal his identity or the fact that we're deer tagging.
And of course, I just instinctively just put my head down and start walking. I mean, it's just 6 guys walking in the middle of the street. We're up to no good.
He was like, no, they're calling the cops. So we're like, all right, well, maybe they are. Maybe we should get out of here.
I'm thinking we probably have 45 minutes based off of my personal experience. You know, I've called Jeff Co a couple times.
So in the 4 seconds that it took to debate that, the cops show up.
And sure as shit, the freaking cop. Jeff Co sheriff is there within like a minute and a half. It's got to be a world record.
So we ditched, we ran in between these houses and all met up in this kind of common field.
And we were kind of all just hidden on that hill, like ducked on that hill, waiting to see what would happen.
We wait there, then we see cop sirens, like lights, which is terrifying.
And then like we see them, a couple of them pull up right next to my vehicle, right next to the Explorer, block it in, hop out. They're looking at the license plate, shining flashlights in it, and we're like, oh man, this is bad.
Field, and we hear like several car doors. Like we know there's at least 3 or 4 cars up there, and we're like, oh shit.
Army.
Like where did all these cops come from?
And then suddenly a flashlight starts coming in our general direction.
And I remember somebody whispering, they're on foot.
And about 20 seconds later, it was on one of us. I believe it was me that jumped up and said, "Cops." I screamed, "Cops, run." So everybody hopped up and sprinted in some direction.
So we all just without even thinking, just took off running as fast as we possibly could in the opposite direction, of course. Not thinking about anything that could possibly happen.
Man, that was the fastest I've ever ran in my life. I'm pretty sure I ran through that entire neighborhood in 10 seconds. Like, my feet weren't even touching the ground. That's how fast I was.
I'm in St. Louis. I live in Kansas City. I don't know where the hell I am. I'm just running through a neighborhood, through trees, we're just running in between houses, and then we find the woods.
I was running as well. As I was running, I was thinking about how close my former house was to where this location was, and I was like, I think if I go into the woods, we can all split up. I'll go to my old neighborhood, lay low there for a few minutes, and it'll be great. It'll be fine.
But I was, all the fast people ran, and so I was like, I'm gonna hide behind this fence. So I run up, and it's a big white privacy fence, and I just kind of stop, panic, and just stand. This white privacy fence, just.
And I think I was following Wilkin.
John, Tyler, and I, we end up the three of us together, and the other guys just kind of went like their own separate way.
And it was like unlevel, super weird ground, and we're just sprinting. It's pitch black. Everyone's panicking.
And across the road was this trailer park, and somewhere like in this trailer park, this guy's like, "Oh, hey man, the cops are coming!" Like, probably a couple meth labs in this trailer park, and I'm like, "Oh man, these meth heads like just helped us."
So like, I start heading this one direction, and then I look and realize no one is with me. I'm all by myself, and I'm like, shoot, I need to go find someone else. I need to be back with some other guys. And so I take off running in the other direction to like try and catch up with everyone else.
And I just remember we get in the woods, and we're running through the woods, and I like ended up by myself within 20 seconds. Like everyone was just gone.
We don't know where Drew is. We don't know where Whitaker is. We don't know where anybody is hardly.
And I ran in the woods, started to run down this hill, and I hear screams from the bottom of the hill. I hear them I hear these people. I could just hear like inaudible like yells and people saying, and I thought it was the cops at the bottom of the hill. I go behind this big tree, go into the fetal position, cover myself up with leaves, and I'm just laying behind this tree, just like waiting, just staying silent, trying to calm my breathing, just waiting. I see these flashlights. I see one of the flashlights go over me. I hear the cop whisper something. I'm like, he's got me. Probably easier at this point if I just stand up, let him know I'm here, talk things out, everything will be fine. So I do that, and immediately the cops are like, freeze, mother.
So everybody's gone, and this cop comes running up to me, and he stops jogging right next to me. I could have just reached out, just taken his gun, and I'm just hiding against this fence. He's, I lost him. So I'm just,
And I was like, it was like muddy and wet, and I just remember slipping and falling, getting all scraped up with trees.
Like that's kind of when it occurred to me, like, oh, shit, let's go to Mike's house.
and I had just punched the clock. I was out, and my phone vibrates, and it's Wilkin.
So we just keep running. I mean, probably 2 miles. I don't know. We get to Mike Effen's house.
And you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, his freaking dog, Bandit, starts barking like super loud.
We knock on the door and his mom answers in a panic.
She's like, hello, who's out there? And I'm like, trying to play it cool, like all winded because I just ran from the cops. I'm like, hey, Mrs. Effen, you know, is Mike home? It's Andrew.
I mean, I feel sorry for the lady. I still, to this day, have not apologized to her, I don't think. She probably wouldn't remember me, but...
And he says, hey, we're behind your shed. We were reindeer humping, and the cops were called, and I don't know where everyone else is at. And I guess this was before everybody had met up behind the shed.
But yeah, we get there, and we're like, oh, it's nothing. We're just here to visit Mike.
You know, she just told us, hey, you know, he's not home yet, but he should be home soon. So I was like, yeah, you know, we're just going to wait here.
Because we couldn't tell her we're running from the police. So somebody calls Mike, tells him the situation. We're running from cops.
So I said, all right, I'm on my way. And so I frantically drove home as fast as I could.
I hear like just the most, not the loudest, the second loudest attempt at being quiet, just somebody just tromping through dead leaves. I'm like, oh man, here come the cops. And I see a cell phone light, and I'm like, Derek, is that you?
And then I saw everyone down in Mike Effins' driveway, and I was like way up on a hill in the woods, so I like worked my way down there.
And as I pulled onto Hunting Road and I was coming down the hill, I started seeing the red and blue flash of police cars.
We were missing Wheezy, and we were missing Wit, but I'm pretty sure everyone else was there. And so someone called you.
My phone rings, and so I answer it, which it rang loud, and I'm just like, hello? And it's like, yeah, we're behind Mike's shed. Meet at Mike's house. I'm like, all right.
And then I remember within 10 seconds of that just hearing like, doom, 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 running down the street.
And just seconds later, I hear the loudest attempt at getting away from the police. Just whop, 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 whop. Somebody just hauling ass down the road. Just the most unstealthy run I've ever heard in my life.
Like, man, Wheezy was running just like his feet were so heavy. And then we ended up, Wit was gone.
At this point, everyone's there but Andrew Whitaker.
And I remember saying, like, Drew, where the hell's Andrew? And Drew responds like, oh, I thought he was with you. I'm like, no, I thought he was with you.
And I'm just like, I put my hands up. I'm like, hey, not going anywhere. I'm right here. And this cop takes off running down the hill. And then he like slips, falls in the mud, gets mud all over his pants. And like I was standing there with my hands up, and I snickered a little bit at it. And that made him pretty mad. Then he like tells me to get on the ground. He puts his knee into my like the back of my neck, like I'm a serious threat to him or something. Like he's just holding me down, sitting on me, cuffing me, and he was like, "What, are you running from us?" He's like, "What? He's like, "What? You're the slowest of all your friends, you fat piece of." He's just like, he's so mad, and he's like, he's being such a d-bag, just saying all this stuff, making fun of me. So he's like asking me some questions, like asking me who else was with me and like what were we doing, and he's just asking a bunch of questions, and I wasn't exactly willing to cooperate at this moment.
And as I'm coming down, I see one car, and then I see another one, and then another one, and walking right in between that, I slow down because I swear I recognize the guy, and it's Wit. Wit's in handcuffs.
I see this truck coming down the road, see headlights, and like I see it slow down, and I see this tired, wonderful face peek his head out of the window. He's none other than Mike Effin, who I don't even think that he knew I was in town. I hadn't seen him in months.
So my guy tails it to his house, lets us in. We all go to the basement, just get our together, listen to some Rush, whatever.
So, I get everybody together, and I get everybody in the basement, and to calm everybody down, I decide to put on some Rush and talk through the events of what had happened, transpired over the night. So we're down in the basement, and Mike's like, Andrew Whitaker's in handcuffs.
And we all thought he was kidding. We're like, no way, man. And he's like, no, I swear, Whit just got arrested.
I'm like, oh God, it's over. We're done.
This other cop car pulls up with a dog in it. There's like a canine unit there, and this cop that's got me cuffed pushes me up against the window where this dog is just like just barking up, like right up against the window, and he pushes my face up against it, and he's just being ridiculous. And he's like, you know where all your friends are hiding? Tell us where your friends are at. Like, I'm still thinking, like, I've done almost nothing wrong. I don't understand what all this trouble is for. Why are they doing all of this? And then, like, by this time, there's like a cop car driving behind us. There's this cop with me cuffed, two more behind him, and like, I'm like, well, this is ridiculous, but this is also kind of awesome. asked me all these questions about robberies and like if I was trying to break and enter and like what I'd stolen and all this stuff. And I told them what we were doing. They also started to realize it was a misunderstanding. One of the cops asked, if I could get a hold of the other guys and get them up here, we could get this all straightened out.
I get this phone call from an unknown number, and I let it go to voicemail, and it's one of the sheriffs, and they're like, yeah, we have Andrew Whitaker here. We know what you guys were doing, and we are going to take Andrew in. We're going to impound his vehicle unless all of you come up and turn yourselves in.
He called back, I think, again, and you picked up the second time. And he's like, why didn't you answer the first time? It's just like, we're all just so, like, never been in those kind of circumstances before. None of us. So we were just like, it seemed so obvious just to run from the cops.
So we all look at each other and we're like, all right, Mike, take us up there. So we pile into his truck, drive up to the hill, and Whit's sitting there in cuffs. Hey, guys.
It was funny seeing Andrew in handcuffs. But I believe he made us put everything back, all the reindeers, which is stupid, because, that's hilarious. And then, yeah, we would go to Steak and Shake, and one of the best nights of my life to this day.
And, like, after it was all resolved and we go back up there, they're just like, why'd you guys run? Well, you're the cops. That's what you do, right?